May we have our seats, please? Thank you. Your Lordship, Justice Peter Shivute, Chief Justice of the Republic of Namibia and Chairperson of the Southern and East African Chief Justice Forum, Your Lordship, Justice Professor Ibrahim Juma, Chief Justice of Tanzania, and I notice the presence of your twin brother, Chief Justice of Zanzibar. He's here with us. Honorable Chief Justice and Deputy Chief Justices here present. Honorable Justices of Supreme Court, Courts of Appeal, and High Courts here present. Honorable former Chief Justices, Honorable Dr. Pindi Hazarachana, Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, and other ministers and deputy ministers here present, Dean of the Court of Appeal of Tanzania, Honorable Augustine Mwarija, Chairperson of Parliamentary Committees, and other members of Parliament here present, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, spouses of the Chief Justices, we thank you for giving them the warmth to be able to conduct their responsibilities. Also in attendance, and I noticed the presence of the chairperson of the African Commission for Human and People's Rights, Professor Alessandro Ole Gabriel, Chief Court Administrator of Tanzania, and the chairperson of Southern and East African Judicial Administrators Association, judicial administrators from partner states here present, representatives of the World Bank and the African Court for Human and People's Rights, Honorable John Mongela, Regional Commissioner of the Arusha Region and other regional commissioners here present, permanent secretaries and deputy permanent secretaries, representatives of the various collaborating partners, esteemed participants, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you all. Some few minutes too. First and foremost, I would like to welcome you all to Tanzania, and specifically to this city of Arusha, which is one of the renowned tourist destinations. It is also with great honor and pleasure that I received your invitation to be a keynote speaker to this, having noted the theme of your annual conference for this year, which is the role of the national judiciaries in dispute resolution under the African Continental Free Trade Area, application of modern technologies for high efficiency in justice dispensation. I accepted your invitation with a very keen interest. I did so because this theme has come at an appropriate timing and is loaded with significant insights. As you are aware, I'm aware that all of you have gone through, or you are aware of the history on the establishment and the signing of the agreement on the establishing the African Continental Free Trade Area, which was done in March 2018. You are aware of the deposition of ratifications and coming into force of the agreement on 29th April in 2019. And you are aware of the official launch of the African Continental Free Trade Area operational phase on January 2021. So I shouldn't dwell myself in explaining the history because you are all aware of it. I should say that we in Tanzania became the 40th country in Africa to deposit the instrument of ratification. So we are full member of the African Continental Free Trade Area. Honorable Chief Justices and invited guests, with such development, it is now a proven fact that the African Continental Free Trade Area is no longer a dream, but a reality. 8 regional economic communities to form a single continental market, this being the world's largest free trade area, with a population of about 1.3 billion people and a collective GDP of approximately 3.4 trillion US dollar. This single African market has become a major fertile ground laden with vast economic opportunities for our people. If properly exploited, it has the potential to unlock and support robust intra-African trade and investment initiatives, remove barriers to entry, and expand our private sector's prospects of a wider intra-African market access, thereby deepening our African continental integration agenda. It is also an avenue for stronger business partnership, improved entrepreneurial spirit, and motivation for our small and medium entrepreneurs, which can access a variety of products through intra-trade arrangements, as well as favorable transfers of technology. It is for such reasons, among others, the African Continental Free Trade Area was designated as one of the flagship programs of Agenda 2063, the Africa we want. Honorable Chief Justices, success of such a flagship project cannot be effectively attained without due recognition of the place and the facilitative role played by our national judiciaries in resolving domestic as well as cross-border business-related disputes. As part of key institutions within our countries, national judiciaries have been the foundation of sustainable peace, tranquility, stability, and unity. All these being the prerequisite factors conducive for effective implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Protocol, which is intended to improve economic well-being of our countries through increased private sector cross-border and intra-border trade, business, and investment. Of recent, this noble role played by our national judiciaries has received much impetus through the application of modern technologies. As it shall be demonstrated in the course of your discussion, we in Tanzania, for instance, have learnt our lessons regarding the necessity to employ modern technologies in facilitating dispute resolution, especially during the challenging times. Honorable Chief Justices and invited guests, it is a fact that the COVID-19 pandemic did bring vital lessons to our nations and institutions. By then, you couldn't have these sort of meetings, but you couldn't stop carrying on with your responsibilities. And one such lesson is the necessity to re-engineer the internal modus operandi by crafting homegrown technological solutions to facilitate continued provision and delivery of essential services to our people, with or without necessitating a complete shutdown of our economies. So here in Tanzania, we couldn't do any shutdown, but we couldn't stop working. We used the modern technologies in providing the services to the people in various sectors, judiciary being one of them. In Tanzania, one of the areas to which we drew attention at and deployed the technological solution to mitigate the negative effects of COVID-19 was the administration of justice to our people. Through the aid of homegrown technological solutions, our judiciary was not only able to maintain access to justice by all who are in need, but was also able to ensure the safety of its staff, um, and that of court users. Such homegrown innovation helped to facilitate a smooth and rapid adaptation of remote hearing of cases of all nature, and has catalyzed our desire to further simplify judicial operation by venturing into more sophisticated technological solutions, such as deployment of artificial intelligence in the dispensation of justice. Encouraging such efforts and other homegrown technology or technology-based solution as it encourages the spirit of entrepreneurship, which is a key driver of economic growth, and it allows young people to participate in the economy, shape innovations, and stimulate job creation, thereby contributing to greater productivity. Honorable Chief Justices, when such kind of homegrown technological solutions are considered within the context of the African Continental Free Trade Area, their outcomes can be visibly foreseen. In the first place, such innovations can easily cross-breed technology or technology transfer within the African Continent Free Trade Area. They can as well be improved by widely adopted within and amongst our nations, either through knowledge sharing and or favorable technology transfer mechanisms, thereby assisting our countries to adequately respond to many other growing needs and challenges confronting our people in not only the area of access to justice, but also in other important domains. While homegrown technological innovations are essential for our continental economic growth, I hasten to state that such innovation cannot be safe without having robust intellectual property or property rights regime to offer adequate protective mechanism to our technological innovations. Such regimes are critical since the continent needs to address many other technology-driven issues on areas such as public health and industrial development. Technological innovations are as well needed so as to address the pertinent issues on African food security and unemployment crisis through enhanced intra-African agribusiness, trade and investment, to mention but a few. In all these areas, there are intellectual property rights related matters to which national judiciaries are also well connected when it comes to resolution and disputes involving such matters. It is also a fact that our continent is not only endowed with rich natural resources, but it is also endowed with potential human capital that needs to be effectively harnessed through improved research and development research and development frameworks. But such frameworks must, as I stated earlier, be well imbued with adequate protection through harmonized intellectual property rights, protection laws and mechanisms, adequate competitive policy frameworks, and effective dispute resolution mechanisms. With adequate intellectual property rights, protection, and effective mechanisms to facilitate transfer of technology and resolve trade and commerce-related disputes, our own researchers and young techno-innovators will be assured of enjoyment of their benefits whenever there will be such transfers of technology. In turn, They will contribute to the industrialization of our continent, which is a much needed agenda, as it will not only transform our economies, add value and promote trade through greater integration into regional or global value chains, but also help to address the issues of unemployment to our young and fast growing population. It is also, or rather it is with such great idea in mind that several protocols and annexes have been tailored and adopted by the African Union under the African Continental Free Trade Area frameworks to address the pertinent needs of our continent. Such protocols include the Protocol of Trade in Goods, the Protocol on Trade in Service, and the Protocol on Rules and Procedures on the Settlement of Disputes. The three being protocols forming part of Phase 1 development of the African Continental Trade Area. These are in addition to the Protocol on Investment, the Protocol on Competitive Policy, the Protocol on Intellectual Property, the Protocol on Digital Trade, and the Protocol on Women and Youth. It is my hope, therefore, that during your discussion on this in this conference, you will have time to examine the entire African Continental Free Trade Area framework for a better understanding of its structures. Honorable Chief Justices, while I need not to be exhaustive about what each and every of such protocols hold for the future of our continent, when they all come into implementation, let me point out one protocol which seems to have a direct linkage in my view with the role played by national judiciaries. This is none other than the Protocol on Dispute Settlement. While I don't intend to preempt your depth discourse regarding the protocol, in my views, the effectiveness of this protocol and the decision that will emanate from its dispute resolution body may have a lot to do with our national judiciaries. I hold such a view because, in my raw thinking, I feel that decisions of dispute resolution body may, for efficacy purposes, need to be fully backed up by other enforcement mechanisms at the national levels. I'm confident that your conference will give more insights to such raw thinking of mine, this being a gathering of distinguished judicial luminaries. It is also my strong belief that as prominent legal minds of this region or regional economic bloc, you will as well set aside some minutes in your discussion to consider how the African Continental Free Trade Dispute Resolution Body can deploy modern technologies to efficiently, accessibly, and transparently enhance its role of dispensing interstate trade-related justice so as to deepen the intra-African trade relations. This is taking into account the wealth experience you have or you have garnered over the years in resolving not only domestic related disputes, but also cross-border related ones. Since this conference is also an avenue for sharing experiences, I believe that you will find it a pertinent avenue for discussions regarding how best the nexus between national judiciaries and the African Continental Free Trade Area dispute settlement mechanism can be tailored, shaped, and aligned throughout the continent for the attainment of our great Agenda 2063 vision of the African we want. Finally, Honorable Chief Justices, as you have chosen to hold your annual conference this year in the United Republic of Tanzania, I would like to once again welcome you to enjoy the hospitality offered by Tanzanian people. It is said, and I've heard here this morning from my Lord Chief Justice Ibrahim, that when you want to see Cairo and Cape Town or Dakar and Mauritius at once, just visit Tanzania and climb the Mount Kilimanjaro, the rooftop of Africa. You will see at once, or you will at once have a glimpse of all those areas. But again, it is said, and I hope it is true, that if you want to see where the prophet Noah's Ark emptied the surviving animals after the great floods, just visit the Serengeti National Park and the Ngorongoro Crater National Parks. And I'm glad you are going to see what has been poured from Noah's Ark to the crater down there. But you may as well be in need of a fragrant and tranquil breeze to soothe your mind after a long discussion in this conference. You can as well enjoy such refreshing moments in Zanzibar Islands, where a night's fragrant breeze and romantic spiced atmosphere is able to refresh your entire mind and soul for a better tomorrow. So I hope you will have some time to visit one of such places for your fond memories of Tanzania. On that note, I wish you a successful and productive conference, and may God bless Africa, God bless Tanzania, and all who have attended this meeting. I thank you for your kind attention. Thank you very much.
As you stand up, please put up a great round of applause once again.